Meat-Eating Plants, Toothless Wonders by Ellen Lawrence. Trapped. A fly buzzing around a small plant lands on one of its red leaves. The insect doesn't know it, but it has just made a big mistake. It has landed on a plant called a Venus flytrap. Suddenly, the leaf snaps shut. The fly is now the plant's prisoner, and there is no escape. Venus flytrap leaf. Some of the leaves on a Venus flytrap have little hairs. These leaves act as a trap by snapping shut when something, such as an insect, touches the hairs. Venus flytrap hair. And the question over here says, why do you think the plant has trapped the fly? Meat-eating plants. The Venus flytrap caught the fly to get the nutrients it needs to stay healthy. Most plants don't get nutrients this way. They take them in from the soil through their roots. Some plants, however, grow in places where there are few nutrients in the soil. These plants, such as the Venus flytrap, eat insects and spiders to get nutrients. They are known as meat-eating plants. So here's a grasshopper, Venus flytrap, a fly caught in a Venus flytrap, and then this says, one of the nutrients that meat-eating plants get from feeding on insects is nitrogen. Plants need nitrogen to help them grow, especially their leaves. And the question over here says, how do you think a Venus flytrap gets the nutrients it needs from an animal's body? Goodbye fly. Once a Venus flytrap catches a fly, the leafy trap squeezes shut. Then the trap oozes juices that break down the soft parts of the fly's body. The juices work like the liquids that break down food in a person's stomach. As the fly becomes soft and soupy, the trap soaks up nutrients from the insect's body. After about 5 days, the trap opens back up, and all that is left of the fly is its dry shell. This says, Venus flytraps live in the area shown in red. They grow in places called bogs where the ground is wet and soft. This is a fly inside the trap. Here it says, the leaves or traps of a Venus flytrap make a sweet liquid called nectar. Flies and other insects are attracted to the traps to eat the nectar. Food for energy. To live and grow, meat-eating plants don't just need nutrients from insects. They also need food for energy. They make this food using water, a gas from the air called carbon dioxide, and sunlight. They take in water from the soil through their roots. The water moves up through the plant's stem and it is stored in their leaves. The leaves also collect carbon dioxide. Then the leaves use sunlight to turn the water and carbon dioxide into food. So here is a leaf, stem, roots. Venus flytrap plant. All plants use water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight to make the food they need. This process is called photosynthesis. Some meat-eating plants do not have traps. They catch insects in other ways. Try to think of some ways they might do this. A sticky end. Sundews are meat-eating plants that use sweet-smelling sticky glue to trap insects. Their leaves are covered in tiny stalks that have a blob of glue on the tip. When an insect lands on a sticky stalk, it gets stuck. The leaf quickly curls around its victim and covers it with juices that make its body soft and soupy. Then the leaf soaks up nutrients from the insect until only its shell is left. So here it says a sundew leaf curling around a fly. This is the sticky glue, stalk, sundew leaf, insect shell. Sundews live in the areas shown in red. They grow in wet places with spongy ground. The sundew's glue smells sweet. Insects land on it because they think it is nectar that they can feed on. And the question is, imagine that a friend of yours has never seen a sundew plant. How would you describe it? Shiny butterworts. A butterwort plant has leaves that look like they are covered in nectar or water. When an insect lands on a leaf, however, it gets stuck. The leaves look shiny because they are covered in sticky glue that traps tiny animals. The leaves also make juices that turn insects into a soupy meal. Then the plant can soak up the nutrients it needs. Here is a picture of butterwort plants. Butterworts live in areas shown in red. They grow in places with wet, spongy ground. Here's a fly stuck on a leaf, and here are the hairs on a butterwort. And here are flies stuck on the butterwort plant. Tiny hairs on a butterwort's leaves make the glue that traps the insects. Different hairs make the juices that break up the animal's body. A watery end. Some meat-eating plants drown the animals they catch. North American pitcher plants have a long pitcher or tube that holds watery liquid. The top edge of the pitcher plant is slippery. When an insect walks around the edge, it falls in and drowns. The plant then soaks up the nutrients it needs from the dead insect's body. North American pitcher plants live in the areas shown in red. They grow in places where the ground is very wet. So, North American pitcher plants. Here is pitcher plant hairs, trapped yellow jacket, liquid, slippery edge of a pitcher plant. To stop insects from escaping, the inside of a North American pitcher plant has smooth sections and downward pointing hairs. If an insect tries to climb out, it slides back down into the liquid. Trapped by a trick. California pitcher plants have a rounded bubble-like part above their pitchers. Insects crawl into the bubble to get to the plant's nectar. When they try to find a way out, however, they get confused. The bubble has many see-through patches that look like escape holes. Insects crawl from patch to patch trying to escape until they are worn out. Then they fall down into the pitcher's liquid and drown. Here are California pitcher plants. California pitcher plants live in the areas shown in red. They grow in places where the ground is wet and soft. So here is a California pitcher plant. Here are the see-through patches. Insects crawl in here. Here are the leaves, and here's the pitcher. California pitcher plants are also called cobra lilies because they are shaped like a cobra snake. And here's a cobra snake. The plants even have leaves that look like a cobra's forked tongue. Insects beware! Meat-eating plants have many different ways to trap animals. Some use sticky glue while others drown their meals. Once an animal is trapped, the plant gets the nutrients it needs from the insect's body. Meat-eating plants may look pretty and smell sweet, but if you're an insect, they are deadly killers. Sometimes rats and small lizards fall into large pitcher plants and drown. Then the plant eats these animals to get the nutrients they need. So here is a rat that is stuck in a pitcher plant. The question for this page is, which meat-eating plant did you like the best and why?